Okay, welcome back to the podcast, folks. So I'm turning 30 in 3 months, which is a pretty big age.
Damn, that year went by fast.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm losing touch.
I'm turning 25.
Oh my God. Wait.
No, you're not.
No, she's not.
Yes, I am. I'm 24.
Yes, she is.
You're 4? I thought you're 3.
No.
And I'm turning 28.
Turning 25.
25.
Oh, this is so weird to me.
That is
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
25
You're turning
is like
8, Claude.
What am I turning?
Yeah.
That's a test question for you kids.
56.
Right.
Oh,
3?
3.
How old did Dad just turn?
62.
57?
No.
I mean,
57,
wait a minute. No.
you're way off.
Wait. 56, 70, 89,
I just
60,
told you.
63.
63, yeah.
Oh, he
No,
turned
he's 62.
62.
He did?
He's just been saying for like the last year that I'm almost 62, so that now that he is 62,
Oh.
it doesn't seem like it seemed like he's
I don't know. I know
gonna be
he's
older.
6
view
and a
him
half
as
or
62.
7 years older than me. That's all I know.
I feel like I view both of you as like in your 40s.
I feel like I'm in my
I can't believe Dad's 62. That's crazy.
30s.
I feel like you've been like 40 my whole life.
Yeah, that's
Really?
5 years
Yeah.
ago. God.
Like 35, 40.
I
Yeah,
feel
so
like
my
I've
question for you,
been-
I feel like when you turn 30, I feel like you start losing touch with the cool kids. So I want to go
You've
over
never
some...
been in touch with cool kids, so you don't have to
Yes,
worry
I
about
have,
that.
Kennedy.
You literally haven't. You know nothing. I bet I can say like a million things. You're gonna be like, I don't know what that is.
Exactly.
Okay, well, let's go over some trends. How,
You didn't even know-
How can I stay cool
didn't
at
even-
30 years old?
You didn't even know what serving meant
That just means like...
because I told you.
It means like talking kind of,
No,
right?
it doesn't.
Wait.
Who knows more slang?
Why is that cool?
Obviously going to be me.
Why is that considered cool?
Serving
Let's have a
like-
list because I don't want to like. I know there's a bunch that even there's some really weird ones like what is it? Skippity.
I don't know
Skippity
that.
toilet bowl.
I don't know that stuff. That's
Why
like,
is that cool?
The visuals
That's
I
like
get from the one
children.
Kennedy said is like really bad.
that's like children. Look up like
That sounds really
Like
yeah.
what pops into my head when she says that is pretty disgusting.
look up Gen
It sounds
Z.
perverted and it
lingo.
sounds childish.
Is it? Whatever the that is pisses me off because it makes no sense and children are doing it.
Oh my god, there's literally a blog page that says a comprehensive guide for parents for the 2024 TikTok slang.
Wait, what are the top ones? I'm curious. I know nothing.
Okay, so the
Neither.
corn emoji. Do you know what the corn emoji is when someone uses that or says corn, what they're referring to?
I'll take a guess.
Okay.
Oh,
I would think
this
it's
No.
that was my first thought, but I was like, it's not going to be that if kids are using it.
No, it's not just
that is
kids.
too,
It's
yeah.
like teenagers.
What does
and
corn
stuff.
sound like?
horn.
Oh, it's this slang for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say corn star, corn industry.
So it doesn't get
my
banned.
God.
So also this one I did not. I've never seen.
This band.
So
Well, no, that won't.
black and orange block. The emojis are referenced when using hub since they're the primary colors of
know
the
that.
logo.
This
That's
is not,
cryptic.
This stuff is not.
That does not sound cool to me. That
Yes,
sounds
it is. A lot of
just
these are
stupid.
the things
What are just
we
the
use.
trends in
What is
general
what does
right now?
yacht mean?
Yacht.
A boat.
Sort of.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
How?
I pay attention.
Because you're a Reddit boy.
Brandon's lost.
It's not a Reddit thing. It's TikTok.
Yacht.
I have no idea.
It's like what people say when a girl has like a really big ass.
What? Who came up with that?
Children say it. Literal
do?
children say it.
Oh my.
I remember we were.
God.
I was in the Hamptons and we were at like a nice restaurant. These kids were walking by with their parents and this little boy who was probably like 8 or something. He was so young. He said, "Hot to it, spit on that thing." And his mom was like, "Shut up."
Wait, to who? Who did he say that to?
One of his siblings or something. Like he was just
What is
saying
it?
it to say it.
I am so glad you guys aren't that young anymore. So I wouldn't have to deal with that. But I did learn a lot.
TikTok is like, I would
Parents-
never let my child on TikTok.
You learn a lot.
ever.
Yeah, that's a really I
I
feel
would
bad
not
for
let
parents
my
right
child
now.
on social media until they're at least like 15.
Honestly, the way that it is right now, I have to say I probably agree.
But isn't this also like growing up and realizing all the songs you listen to also are about sex?
Yeah, and
I
we
didn't
were,
even listen to
we were
lyrics when I was
exposed
a
to
kid.
some.
You guys were
exposed
definitely
to
exposed to some things, but like I don't
That's the
remember
thing. I would
when-
expose my kids to like cuss words and stuff, and I would tell them what things are, but they do not need to have
How
like
old
their
were
own
you when
social
Dad
media.
let you have a phone? 10? Was
Probably,
that the
I was
age?
middle school, like 6th grade. So however old that is.
I was in 5th grade.
I think I was in
And
like
he gave me
third
like
grade.
a pay-as-you-go flip phone
Yeah,
for
the-
like
Yeah,
they didn't have
safety
touchscreen
reasons.
phones
And then
back
I had
then.
the same one.
Oh, because they were very different back
He
then.
would buy me.
so-
I'd like see him on the weekend and be like, "I need another card to load
need
my
minutes.
phone."
Yeah, I remember how exciting it was to get this little tiny phone. It was one of those like
You
micro
had
flip
the
phones.
tiniest
tiniest phone.
It was
You
like one
remember?
literally the world's tiniest phone.
Yeah.
It was like this big.
So
And we
did,
were all,
did
like,
your friends also
fascinated.
have a phone?
Some of them did, yeah.
Yeah, they did.
So did you feel
I
like
had no friends.
No, I wouldn't text and stuff. If I called my friends, especially in elementary school, I would use your house phone.
oh, I forgot I had a house
Do you
phone.
remember you had that phone that could change your voice? And I
it was
we
kinda
would use it to
broken.
prank people.
Okay.
We'd star 67 and
That's
look up
so
people in like the
interesting.
school directory and prank call them all.
That's what you did when
my
you were
God,
young. It was,
that was
you
so
were bored.
fun.
Okay, what does it mean when someone uses the word 8?
8
Yeah, 8.
ate that ass.
No, like, oh my God, she ate.
Oh, you gotta use it in
She
a sentence.
ate?
That's hard to
Okay.
say about it.
Oh, she's hot.
Corey,
No.
how do you know
Well,
this?
sort of, yeah.
Too. Oh
It's
my.
because he literally watches teenage shows for a living.
then he's one of the cool kids.
Corey watches
what does it
teenagers
mean?
for like.
That sounds wrong. She ate. She devoured.
She ate that.
Left no crumbs.
Ate and left no crumbs.
Oh.
Brandon, take a
Yeah,
guess.
come on.
She did a job and swallowed.
No. No, it's not sexual.
Okay, she ate and left no crumbs. It's definitely not about food, right?
No.
That's too literal. It's about a guy.
No.
No.
Oh my God, I'm clueless.
Oh my God, she's eating.
Like, do you want to you? No. It's like she's killing it. Like, she looks good. Like
Like she's
Oh.
serving.
she ate that up.
What?
Serving looks. You know what I mean?
Similar to serving.
Serving looks.
Oh my God, if somebody wrote that as a comment on one of my things, I'd probably delete it and block him because I didn't know what it was.
What does it mean when someone has Riz?
Oh,
I know what
Riz
that
is.
is.
Riz is just like
Yeah, I know what that is.
The
charisma.
Rizzler.
I actually heard that
Yeah, I
on
know
the
what
news
Riz
once.
I wouldn't have known what Riz is though if we didn't almost make a video that had to do with Riz. I wouldn't have known.
All right.
What about face card?
face card never
face card?
declines?
This one's pretty literal.
Face card never declines.
Take a guess.
Face card never.
Are you
I fucking know. No, I can't.
It just means
face
like somebody
card.
was like a beautiful face.
Like their face, always look good, no
Like
matter
stunning.
what. Their face always looks
Who
good.
comes up with
Usually,
this?
like, imagine you're waiting in a line to go into a club, and like you don't need to pull out any ID; they just let you in because you're like too attractive.
because your face card's so good.
Oh my God.
Why is it called
I
card
thought that
though?
was Rooster first.
So people say, wait, I was just thinking of one. Because sometimes I see ones and I'm like, if someone didn't know this, they would literally be so confused.
What about when people say chat? Chat, is this real?
Well, that isn't that like a Twitch thing?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Because people reference the chat section as chat, like it's a thing, like a person.
Yeah.
I'm lost.
All right, what about?
You're talking to the crowd.
All
like
I
you're
hear
talking
is
to, like,
chat,
your-
and I think of
It's
like,
like talking to a group chat.
Like
Like,
imagine you're doing a live
guys.
stream and you call the live stream chat
Like your chat.
instead of just like the
oh yeah,
individual
okay,
people.
like group
yeah,
chat.
Yeah.
Let him cook.
That's like when you're. I know what that one is.
Okay,
It's like,
say it.
It's very simple.
isn't it like when you're going off on somebody or something?
Sort of. It can be.
Yeah.
Just kind
can
of
use that
like
math.
let him go off or like
Let
Or
him
let him
cook.
be angry?
Like he's doing
Yeah.
well.
It's
Like
like-
he's doing
Hold on, like,
good.
they're making a good
yeah. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
Sorry, I'm on a Reddit thread, so I have to like go through.
This is so weird.
See, one of the ones I don't get is like people say like Skippity Ohio or something, or like
Don't even cover that one
I
because
think Skibbity's from like a show.
that pisses me off. I don't
they
know
say
what
like
it is,
Skibbity
but
toilet bowl. That's like a really young
What
one.
does that mean?
it's
I don't know.
children that use that one. That's not.
So that's outside of your generation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Skippity.
A lot of.
I'm not
right
claiming
now
that
is like
one.
the brain rot character.
Yeah, the brain rot.
So it's like it means nothing on purpose.
Mom, do you know what doom scrolling is?
You do it a lot, Mom.
Doom scrolling? No, the only thing that it comes to my mind is like you're scrolling and you're just killing yourself.
Yeah.
Because and you're doomed.
You just keep going, going,
Really?
going
It's
until your
when you
brain's
just
like,
aimlessly
oh.
are scrolling
Alright.
like
Okay.
like a zombie.
What is the
Yeah.
millennial pause?
What I just did when you asked me the question?
Sort of.
It's like when you start a video and they go like,
Or there's like
okay, so today
there's like a slight pause in the beginning. Mom, you definitely have done that before.
Okay, I don't
Yeah.
do that.
Boomer
one. I
pause.
don't do that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen you do that, Mom.
I do that a lot. That's part of my like everyday routine.
Imagine our
Yeah,
generation
right.
getting attacked with technology.
Is that a millennial thing though, or is that like a
because they're
Gen
not
X
as
thing?
they're not as
Or not Gen
familiar
X.
with
Is it Gen X?
they're not as familiar with like filming themselves. So it's like right when I press record, I start going.
They think there's a delay or
but
something.
they're like, they'll press it and then they have to like see it going and then they'll start.
There's a similar thing called the millennial Zoom versus the Gen Z Zoom. Do you know what that is?
What, like holding it at a different length?
When people are filming themselves on TikTok, they'll call it like the Gen Z Zoom versus the millennial Zoom. Millennials will actually zoom in while they're recording. Gen Zs will just cut afterwards and do a crop, but they call it the Gen Z Zoom.
Brandon, do you know what Brat Summer is?
No. Oh, what, something to do with like Brat looking like a Bratz doll? No? Okay.
In the summer.
What is it?
The album Brat by Charlie XCX came out at the beginning of the summer, so everyone was calling it Brat Summer.
Yeah, I no idea. I don't even know who that is.
Who the are you? I'm a brat when I'm pumping that.
I've never heard that song.
Me either.
Now it's all about demure fall.
Yeah, do you know what demure?
No.
Very demure.
Very mindful.
Very cutesy.
That one
What's that
also
from?
annoys me.
That one was just like a TikToker that like went viral saying that.
But it's just got
And then it
so
blew
overused.
up.
When brands start using like
Yeah, that's how you
other-
know.
It just they ruin it.
Yeah, it's no longer cool. It's just like
they made it annoying.
That's
What's
hilarious.
girl math?
it's a good one. A lot of these are I've never
Something
even
to do
heard
with
of.
girls being emotional.
No.
That's a good guess. I don't
It's
know
like,
either.
Claudia, you explain girl math.
It's like, oh, I bought all these things, but I returned them. So now I have more money and I can buy something else with it.
Or it's like, oh, I'm not going to go get my nails done. I'm going to do them instead. So now I have extra
Money to,
60
like,
bucks
Okay,
to
to
spend
go
on
do
something
something
else.
else.
Yeah.
what's, I don't know, didn't we do something about, what's looks maxing? Jesse did something about that.
Looks maxing.
Yeah.
Just
I've
put
never heard
it.
of these before. It's probably hard, but some of them are so literal.
Yeah, it's just literal.
Just putting a lot of work into the way you look.
Yeah, just try to look as best as you
Okay,
can.
my question is,
Mogging.
what
now.
is it?
Mog. M-O-G.
I don't even think I know what that is.
I,
Let me do
I
this
know what
one.
mugging
Cory
is.
knows more than everybody.
It's like similar to looks maxing.
It's so
Mogging is
funny
like
that
when
was right
people
here.
Make their face like look extra good just to like make someone else look worse.
Yeah, they'll stand next to someone and look better than them.
So my question is, do any of you actually have conversations with these words?
no, because I'm a f***ing human being.
I'm way too old
I
to
mean,
be
I
using
will
this
say
stuff.
like survey, and I say a lot, and I'll say like
I mean, I'll like
some other
type
things.
things like that, like on like mutual people that I'm friends with on things like say like slay or whatever, but I'm not saying it seriously. I'm like kind of just like, I don't know.
I know
like,
what slay
it's like a
means.
cute
Those
little
ones are,
thing
like,
to
Yeah,
say.
A lot
right.
of it's like lol. Like no one will say lol in real life, but you'll text it.
LOL.
Right, I'd say L. Right, can you imagine? LOL.
Yeah, instead of laughing, you just go LOL.
Avery says LOL in real life,
She does.
but
That's,
it's not
that's
weird when
very
she
Gen
says
Z.
it. She'll just be like LOL, but it like
That's some fucking Gen Z thing.
Oh my god, I got it. I want to hear her say that.
it doesn't. It makes sense when she says it though. Just
Do you
the
know
way
what-
that she
She's
says
probably
it.
the only one.
Do you know what
on Earth.
Menti
Yeah.
B is?
Menti B. No
I don't
idea.
know what that is.
You don't?
No.
Like I'm having a Menti B.
Oh, mental breakdown.
Oh my god.
That's just
Soon every word will just be
Menti B.
shortened into like some
like
abbreviation.
shorthand.
You'll just be speaking in abbreviations.
no one who's actually having a mental breakdown would say, "I'm having a menti B."
In today's
I'm having a Menti B.
day and age, I'm
LOL.
pretty sure they would.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Imagine having a whole
She's
conversation
like, what?
with just
what
those
are you
words.
saying? I'm having a Menti B.
Like, I don't believe that anyone having.
People are gonna
a-
need translators for their kids soon.
Oh wait, okay. I found
Google Translate to Gen Z
Skibbity
language.
Toilet, an animated YouTube series that depicts a dystopian world where mobile toilets with human heads popping out of their bowls war with humanoids who have cameras, speakers, or TVs for heads. By 2024, it has become popular with Gen Alpha and the youngest portion of Gen Z.
Yeah, we're doomed.
We're going places,
What
guys.
Read it out loud.
I didn't even know Gen Alpha existed.
There's no way for it to not sound dumb.
Skippity toilet for president. Basically, Skippity toilet is running for president.
We're doomed. That's the generation that's after us.
That's what happens when you just have nothing better to do. So you just
Yeah,
start
That's
coming
like
up
that idiocracy.
It's brain rot.
Apparently, it's a
Yeah.
show.
That's exactly what's happening.
Literally, the generation below us is all brain rot. Like, they're all TikTok obsessed, all like live stream obsessed,
That is
just obsessed with
so-
YouTubers.
Fucking sad.
Yeah, but that could have been what the generation before us said too. They could have just been like,
Yeah, they
all
probably
you do is
did.
watch TV.
Listen, people
Right.
said things back in the day, some weird things. What are things that people said back in your teen years?
I don't know. They would just bully.
Let's.
They would just bully. Literally. I got pushed into sticker bushes.
Well, that's you, Mom. Not everyone
That's
got
not
bullied.
lingo.
No, it's all the
You're just
the
trauma
kids.
dumping.
No, it's all the girls. That's how boys showed
people
that they liked
definitely
girls.
said
Mom, skippity
certain
toilet.
words.
I saw something about that the other day where we were raised. Listen, girls were
So
raised
dumb.
to think that if a boy is bullying you, if a boy is mean to you, it means he likes you.
Right. That's
you
really
told me
screwed.
that too. And so we're raised thinking, oh, if he's mean to us, it means he wants us.
Right. The more mean
You're
he is,
taught
the more he likes us.
Yeah, and you're taught that as a literal child.
Right.
And any boy that would bully me, I only got bullied by boys in elementary school. So any boy that bullied me, I was like, oh, maybe he just likes me. And
God, that is
it's so I would never teach my
messed
daughter
up.
that. Like, that's not true. If a boy's being mean to you, he's a piece of and you should run him over with
When
a
you're little,
car.
little boys will act like they'll tease
will
you
act
because
like
they like
that.
you.
If I had a daughter and I found out that a boy was mean to her, you would have to put me in a straitjacket because I would literally
fight a
kill.
kid?
I'd be a child.
You would
That's
fight
like,
a kid.
wait, what show was that where the woman, the mother walked up and smacked the little kid?
Oh no, that was
What was that?
no. I don't. There was a movie. where
This is
she
40.
didn't. She didn't
Yeah,
smash
that's
She
it.
him.
smacked him. She was like, "You think you're cool with your Justin Bieber haircut, huh?"
Right. That would be committing.
Oh, I'd be so much meaner. I'd be physical.
And then you'd end up in prison.
Yeah, I would. That's why I can't have a kid.
Yeah.
What
no,
does it
we
mean
can't
to
let her
be
have
caught
kids.
in 4K?
That's just like
I've
self-explanatory.
caught in the
heard
act?
that before.
Yeah.
It's just like getting caught a picture taken of you and it's like clear.
Or caught in the act.
It's not really.
I
what it
remember
means.
when we did the eye tracking video, everyone kept saying caught in 4K in the comments.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean like
Oh, it's like you got caught doing something bad.
Yes, it doesn't mean caught
right,
in a
let's
clear
up the
picture.
lingo.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. What's something you'd love to learn? As an adult, do you make time to learn new things as often as you like, or was it lost in childhood? Kids are always learning and growing, but as adults, sometimes we lose that curiosity. What's something you'd like to learn? Gardening, a new language, or maybe how to finally beat your best friend in bowling. Therapy can help you reconnect with your sense of wonder because your back to school era can come at any age. It's really easy to get in your head, and sometimes talking to somebody can make a huge difference. Therapy can be helpful for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself, and it isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. It can be for anyone. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a better try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/WalshWorld today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/WalshWorld. Okay, guys, cooking can be a huge hassle. You got to go to the grocery store, you got to buy a whole bunch of stuff, and then you got to cook all the food, and then you got to clean all the dishes, and it can just kind of be a mess. But Factor makes that whole process a lot easier. Eat healthier and meet your wellness goals with a menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and keto. They have options for everyone. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. No matter how busy you are, you always have time to eat nutritious, great tasting meals. So make today the day you kickstart a new healthy routine. What are you waiting for? With 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you'll always have new flavors to explore. Crush your wellness goals this month with dietitian approved meals and ingredients that you can actually trust. Make your day delicious from breakfast to dessert. Stay fueled with easy, nutritious options and treat yourself to restaurant quality meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, and blackened salmon. Keep your kitchen time to a minimum. Factor meals are ready in 2 minutes. No shopping, prepping, cooking, or cleaning up. So much easier. Enjoy effortless support for your lifestyle. Choose from 6 menu preferences to help you manage calories, maximize protein intake, avoid meat, or simply eat well balanced. Head to factormeals.com/WalshWorld50 and use code WalshWorld50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code WalshWorld50 at factormeals.com/WalshWorld50 to get your 50% off first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active.
Let's do some voicemails since we didn't do any last time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Go to the phone number in the description and leave a comment or a voicemail. Thank you.
And
Thank you. Please
Try to make it concise.
make it short. 30 seconds.
Make it extra interesting.
Talk very fast. Do
And
not stumble over your words.
Give us the tea.
The tea. I know what that is.
Hello, love the podcast. I'm currently in a situation wondering if I'm an asshole or not. I've been dating my boyfriend for over a year now, and he has the tendency to call his mom my love. And he's done it multiple times in front of me. He He also calls me my love occasionally. His mom corrected him once, saying, I'm not your love. She is, but she still calls her that. I think it's a typo. And she stopped correcting him. I find it a bit odd, but I'm unsure if that makes me an asshole. I want to bring it up to him. However, I'm not sure if it's worth discussing. Would love to hear your thoughts.
It's weird.
So her boyfriend calls his mom my love.
If his own mom corrected him and he's still doing it, he needs therapy.
Dude, that's really weird.
Yeah,
If my boyfriend was calling his mom like
Anything other than mom?
Yeah. If Jesse called me my love, I'd be like,
well, that would be weird, but I'm saying to his own mom.
My love is very intimate.
My love. I mean, the
That's
only thing I can understand, I can picture.
Some sons really love their mother that much.
Yeah, you don't have to
No,
call
but
her
the only
my
thing I
love.
can picture is if he was like I can imagine like a British guy saying
That's
that.
what I was gonna say. Where it depends where they're from.
I feel like that word might not mean the same thing to him that it means to other people.
Right.
Like when he says it, it's more of just like a gesture.
Somebody in his family says it.
Yeah, but if he
so you gotta know
regularly
somebody.
said that, then I don't think his mom would have corrected him.
Yeah. If
And
he's
been like,
that's
I'm
the
not
weird
your
part,
love.
is that the mom corrected him and he still does it.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
So he's trying to get on her nerves.
No, it must just be like a reflex for him or something. But
I don't know. He's mixing the two of you up or something.
yeah,
It might just be something that he like calls women in general, so it just gets
But no,
used to it.
because if my boyfriend called me something
Women
and then
in
also
general?
called other women not other women. If my boyfriend called me something and also called his mom it, I'd be like,
That's like Jesse calling his mom babe.
yeah,
It's like Brandon calling me my love. Yeah, it's weird. I'd be like, what? Shut up.
ew.
But I imagine
just
like
tell him to
a British
stop.
guy being like, "Oh, thanks, my love," or something. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm
Still
saying.
weird.
If he's from somewhere and that's
I
just
still
in
find it
there,
weird.
like
Yeah, I don't know.
part of their vocabulary.
Tell her boyfriend.
I would just be like, "Why do you call me and your mom the same thing?" It kind of makes me feel weird.
I wouldn't have any problem bringing it up to him. I'd be like,
You got a problem, bro?
huh?
I
Who's your
just, like,
girlfriend? Me
you
or
just
your
have to
mom?
straight up address that the way that you feel about it.
I think it's really simple. Whether it's my love or something else, if you're calling your girlfriend the same thing as your mom,
That's a little bit weird,
a
buddy.
little bit, you don't want to give your mom a
That's
pet
what she
name.
can do. She can show him this clip of the podcast, and I'll tell him that's weird. Stop.
Yeah.
Get some help.
Yeah, that's the way to solve it. Show the clip of the podcast. There you go.
Listen, your girlfriend loves you, but stop calling your mom my love. It's kind of weird. It makes her uncomfortable.
There we go. Problem solved.
Hi, I hope you're all doing really well. My name is Shannon. At the beginning of 2020, my father very unexpectedly passed away. My family had always been extremely close-knit, just like yours. It's really weird that he's gone and nothing has felt the same since. I'm still finding it difficult to move forward. 1, do any of you have an experience with grief? If so, do you have any words of wisdom or anything you can share that you've learned during that experience? 2, any interesting thoughts on what happens when we die? Thanks. Have a good one. Well, I'm sorry for your loss. That's really sad.
Yeah, that's very sad.
Grief is not an easy thing to deal with, no matter who you are. I actually, thank God, have never really experienced like horrible grief before.
I have.
So give your 2 cents.
Well, first of all, I do think that, because I believe in ghosts, so I do, and reincarnation, so I do believe that they're not fully gone. I don't think everybody can necessarily sense that. There's some people in the world that obviously, like, certain psychics claim to do it and mediums claim to do it. So I think that's really comforting to know that. Like, sometimes I'll, as silly as it sounds, close my eyes and, like, I was really close to my grandmother and I will, like, talk to her. I was in the room when she died. So it was definitely like it's very hard to explain from like where my brain goes with it, but like they're not there in the body anymore, but they're there, if that makes sense. So I hope that comforts you a little bit. Death is really hard. I don't think it ever will be an easy thing to get through. I think that it's life-changing. You're used to that person being there in person and feeling and sounding and feeling the energy, and all of a sudden it's like
They're just gone.
Like, it is a weird thing. And I definitely myself, I think I struggle with that, especially lately, because I'm like, I mean, if you really look at it, I'm more than halfway there. So
Mom,
I'm being real. Like, if you look at the age, as far as numbers, I'm more than halfway there. So that is a really weird feeling. I can only imagine what my mom and my dad think at the moment, thinking about it. So it's a tough thing. And I just say, like, enjoy where you are, enjoy the people around you, enjoy the people that you love. And, you know, you're here. It's a blink of an eye, literally.
and don't let small things control you. Like,
Yeah.
always
In the whole of it, it's just like, you know, just it's the same thing. Just enjoy the moment, enjoy everything that you possibly can.
I don't think
Because-
as human beings that we are created to be able to handle or like comprehend death properly, because how can you? Like, we're all living here on Earth, and then all of a sudden, like, literally within seconds, someone can just be completely gone and you can't talk to them, you can't go anywhere to find them. Like, it's like I almost feel like it's the type of thing where you're like, all right, like, what do I need to do to get to them? But like, you just can't anymore.
it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it literally doesn't make any sense. Like, how all these things and like beings and plants and whatever, like, everything is still here right where you left it. Like, even their things can be right where they left them, as if they're gonna just like come back, and they can't. And I don't know, I think like grieving, although I've never lost anyone super close to me, I feel like grieving is something where you just have to take it one day at a time and do the best that you can. And if that's crying all day and having to grieve the way that whatever is getting you through it, like, that's just what you have to do. And
I think the closest to death was Salem for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
no, I lost a friend that I had in high school, like,
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
about a year or two ago. And that was a really weird feeling, because although I hadn't been close with him anymore, we were really good friends when I was in like 9th and 10th grade, and I knew him literally from elementary school. So we basically kind of like grew up together in a way. And that was a really, really, really weird feeling, because although like my everyday life obviously didn't change or anything, it was just weird to go and see, like, to just be like, I can't believe he's not here anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't even like, it's like almost like the feeling I was like, oh, I want to reach out and say like hey to him and check up on him. But I will say something that was like really interesting to me is that when that happened, I would think about him a lot. And like, sometimes I would just like, I don't know, like if I was alone, I would like, this sounds weird, but I'll like talk to him out loud.
No, it doesn't, because that's what I do.
But then I had multiple dreams, and one really stood out, a dream where it was literally like him in his, what he looked like as in that moment, like as an adult before he passed away. And we were literally like hanging out and catching up on like life. And it was like as if we were talking, as if I were to see him in real life. And it was so weird, because I'm like, I feel like he like came to my dream to talk to me.
Yeah,
and
he
like,
probably did. See, that's the kind of stuff I believe.
well, I just think that if someone passes away, if you still talk to them as if they're there, you know, when you're like alone and comfortable doing that, or like when you're driving or something by yourself, I feel like they really will visit you in your dreams. Like, I don't,
Or in other ways, you never know.
yeah, or in other ways, but just like, and it made me not right away, but like it will happen. And it's weird.
There's
Well,
a show.
I think,
Go ahead.
hold on. I think one of the reasons it creates so much grief is because when you're really close with your family, they kind of act as part of your identity.
Yeah.
And when the person dies, it feels like part of you's dying. So I think one thing that you can maybe remember, it's similar to what you guys said, but maybe a different way to put it, is that you've gained so many experiences, and technically part of them is always going to be inside of you. So everything that you think about and every decision you make is with their influence. So it's almost like you're living within yourself, but they're also sort of living within you too, because you had such a close bond together. So maybe don't see it as something external dying, but they're still part of you and inside of you, and still always going to be part
Yeah,
of
and
your
you'll
identity.
keep them alive.
Yeah.
There's a really cool show that I just watched called Seatbelt Psychic. And it's this guy named like Thomas John or something. And he like drives people around, but he's like a medium. And they get in his car and he's like starts saying like, do you believe in mediums? And one, they'll say yes or no or whatever. He goes, well, I'm a medium. And they're like, oh, so can you like give me a reading? And then he's like, well, your dead father's sitting next to you right now, and you know, blah, blah, blah. And he goes in this whole conversation, starts telling them things that they would never know. Now, I watched the whole entire season because I was like convinced I was going to find some kind of, even though I believe in it a lot, I still wanted to find some kind of flaw to where I'm like, oh no, that's impossible.
Yeah.
So I watched every single episode and I did not find one thing. These people who start crying and stuff, like they couldn't be actors. There's no way they could be actors if you watched it, because they're crying too hard. Some of them talk about like how they got cancer and like, cause he tells them like somebody was sick. Like, I don't know. You'd have to go through so much to plan something like that for a show that I'm convinced that it's real. So you should watch it and tell me what you think. You can just watch one episode. They're short. They're like 20 some minutes.
I'm just instantly skeptical
Same.
of anything that's edited because I've made edited videos.
Yeah, I know.
So I know that it's not always going to be completely
I know.
real.
And believe me, when I was watching it, I was thinking this. And I was so tempted to contact this guy. So tempted. So tempted. I'm still tempted.
Maybe you should. But like,
I'm just not paying $1 trillion for somebody to say, you know, tell me about my
yeah,
past
the psychic
loved ones.
reading stuff is super cool. And I hope that it's real. The issue is the fact that you can look up anyone now. So it's
Right.
like, and very
yeah, but
quickly.
there were certain things that he would say to people that there's no way he would know. And he does this weird thing like with, I don't know, you got to watch it. Just watch it and let me know. But it's interesting because you used to say, absolutely not. Now you're saying you hope it's true. Before you were like, no way it's true.
Yeah, because I don't know, my perspective has changed on what's actually true and not. And it's
because it makes sense. Some of it makes sense.
Because you really can't prove anything. The only way you
No.
can prove something is if you bound your you bound your logic. Like you have to have a boundary in order for something to be true. So like once you push outside that boundary, everything's like fair game again.
Yeah. We should bring him on the podcast.
I think I've always just had the mindset that anything can be true and anything can be not true. And I think it's impossible with anything with like death and the afterlife and supernatural stuff. I think like it's impossible to prove that. And it's also impossible to prove that it's not true.
Yeah.
So I'm just like constantly open to anything.
Yeah. The thing that I don't like is when people start using that fact to scam people.
I just don't. Yeah. That.
Yeah.
And I also don't like people who are very absolutist and like only believe one thing and think this must be true.
Well, that's because some people like to approach life with extreme order. 'Cause
Yeah,
it
I
makes
don't
them
like that.
Less anxious. But that's just personality
Yeah.
though. Because life is everything is chaotic and there are tons of unknowns and it makes somebody feel a lot more secure.
That's why I
if they
do
have order.
understand religion and I understand how it helps so many people, but I could just never bind myself into something like that.
Well, you have a sense of spirituality, which is basically a religion without any sort of identification to it.
Yeah.
So it's all the same thing with different skins. Like it's the same thing with a different cover, like a different.
Well, sort of,
thumbnail.
because I just feel like believe whatever you want to believe. And I'll believe what I believe, which is just nothing and everything.
That's so understandable. I can totally relate to that. That's probably where you got it from was me.
Well, most of those questions that no one can give a definite answer to are normally paradoxical. Mm-hmm. That's just the way. Like they're paradox. You can talk about them on loop forever.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's pretty fascinating, actually.
Next question.
Well, I feel like life would be boring if we had everything figured out already. Like, what would you be doing?
Brandon,
What would you
pass
be
me the
striving
phone.
towards?
I don't know, but death is definitely the biggest mystery of all.
Hi guys, I love your podcast. I was wondering how you guys feel about people who are cheaters and why people feel the need to cheat on their partners. I was also interested to know how you guys feel about attachment theory, anxious, avoidant, and secure attachment, and how you find that it's affected you in your adult life and relationships. Thanks so much. You're all a joy to watch.
I think that cheaters are absolutely disgusting and there is never a reason to cheat. I truly have never understood it. I never will understand it. I think it is a complete lack of respect towards your partner. And I
we've
personally
definitely talked
would
about this
never be
before.
able to forgive somebody for doing something like that. I just think it's so disgusting.
This is one of those things that, like,
I think it's dehumanizing.
yeah, that we've talked about, but like, I feel like you can do a whole entire podcast on it.
I don't know. I mean, I can't say because I've never been someone that had I've never wanted to cheat on someone. Like, my thing is, if you start having interest in other people or looking at other people, then that's when you end it. And that's what I did in a previous relationship. I wouldn't have gone and started talking to anyone else, or like, I'm just too guilty of a person. I have a horrible guilty conscience. I literally couldn't live with myself if I did that. And so I can't really say I understand why someone would do it. But I mean, I think a lot of people get to a point maybe in a relationship where maybe they feel trapped or something,
Like,
or they
want
don't
their cake and eat it too.
Yeah, they don't want to lose the comfort aspect that they have with this person, but then they get like the temptation from someone else. I really don't know. Like, I can't understand it because I just wouldn't do it.
But that, I'm just like, I don't understand that. If you don't want to be with somebody, respect them enough to walk away from them.
Because they don't want to be alone, and at the same time
It's
they want to be
selfish.
out there. But
Well, because when you're in a relationship long enough, you get to a point where you really do start to feel trapped. You feel like you have no other option. You feel like you're too far in. Your families are intertwined, and you've been with someone for so long that it feels really impossible to get out of it. That's how I felt. Obviously, I didn't go cheat on anyone, so that's not really an excuse or anything, but I do think that's where some people's minds go, is that they just feel like they don't have a way out, and also clearly they don't have a guilty enough conscience or care enough.
Do you think you guys all agree on what that line is of what cheating is, whether it's physical or emotional?
I think it could be anything.
yeah, I think it could be
In my
both.
opinion, if there's anything you don't want to tell your partner that you did with someone, whether it's having a conversation, seeing someone outside of like you run into someone and you're like, oh, I'm not gonna, I guess that's not cheating, but still, anything you wouldn't want to tell your partner, in my opinion, that is like emotional or physical with someone else.
Yeah, where you're getting
cheating.
where you're getting something from someone else.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Because I would genuinely be so hurt if I saw
Exactly.
messages, or if I found out that someone was just like having lunch with someone else. Like, it's
It would make me
not
feel sick.
innocent. It's especially emotional because that's a very intimate thing.
I almost think, well, I don't know. I've done a debate before. I think I've asked you guys if emotional cheating or physical cheating is worse. And I don't think there's an answer. I think they're both equally horrible because you should be able to get everything from your partner. And it's just,
a lot of times though, if people don't get things from their partner, they're ignored, or they're like neglected or treated like shit, and there's no way out, and that person might be scared to say something, and it's just going to create so much more of a thing, they think, or somebody might use it as fuel to break the relationship up because they don't know how to approach it and say, I'm done. They need a reason, they need something to be the main drive
I
of
think
breaking
it's
that.
also just a lack of respect for yourself. If you're in a relationship with somebody and you're going to someone else, it's like, you deserve
Definitely
to be with, somebody who is giving you everything you want. And it's all just a complete lack of respect for yourself, lack of respect for that person, lack of respect for the person you're cheating on with. And it's just like, to me, it just screams, you need therapy.
Plus the fact that the person you're cheating on, the person that you're cheating with, sees this whole thing and absolutely will think in their mind, if he can do it or she can do it to that person, they're going to do it to me.
Sometimes.
That is definite.
Well, here's the thing.
Some people don't think
Hedonism
that.
at the expense of others is probably one of the worst types of humans in general. And the reason they're doing it is simply because they're not mature enough. They rather have the short-term gratification of the cheating, and they'll be like, I'll deal with the problems of the relationship later, rather than having the actual balls to confront the problems in their life.
It's completely avoidant. Yeah.
And if somebody's cheating on you, it's very likely they have a ton of other problems that come with them because it's just the same exact pattern being put into a relationship and probably being put somewhere else in their life.
I don't want to say I don't want to say I understand certain instances where it has happened for people, but I also can't say that I would ever judge someone, I guess, that is going through something like horrible and then ends up confiding in someone else and maybe like falling towards that person. Like I think there's so many scenarios that it's like not always just straight up like, oh, I went out and cheated on my partner that loves me and it treats me so well.
But I also feel like if that starts happening, then you have the power to like stop that before it becomes something too ugly. And human beings naturally too avoid confrontation and are very avoidant in general. And I just feel like there just has to be a certain point. You have to have like boundaries for yourself that you don't want to cross. And if you're in then you shouldn't be in a relationship.
Right, exactly.
Well, here's where it gets muddy too. And you guys have probably seen a lot of movies about this where somebody, like, let's say somebody cheats early and they never tell them. And rather than just fixing the problem right away, they let it go on and 10 years go by and they have kids together and stuff. The deeper you get into something without addressing it, the more chaotic it's going to be once you do address it, and then it's going to implode. And that's why divorces are so terrible.
Yeah.
Because then you're bringing kids into the scenario too.
Well-
and you have to deal with the kids going through the process too because it wasn't taken care of earlier.
Yeah, but in my opinion, if you can live with yourself for 10 years after cheating on someone that you're with and then stay with them after that fact, then you're sick.
That's
It happens all the time though.
That's so
Yeah, I know,
horrible.
but you know
I
what?
would feel nauseous every day of my life.
I'm going to tell you, those people who are lying, they're lying to themselves, they don't feel good. There's no possible way that they can feel good. That's not the best version of themselves.
But think about that, because you're holding that lie, you're going to carry it your whole life, and then everything's going to be miserable.
That kind of stuff turns into sickness.
Yeah, you make
You
yourself
internalize it and it becomes like cancer or something.
Yeah,
like seriously.
it's true.
It's
Yeah.
all energy too, and
It's
you're
all low vibration.
harboring that negative, disgusting energy.
Yep. Higher that vibration.
If you just have those odd feelings in you and you're like something doesn't feel right, whether it's in yourself or you sense it in other people that you have close relationships with, you got to address it now.
Yeah.
Even though it's going to be hard and painful, you have
Definitely.
to just do it.
That's part of the human
because otherwise you're going
experience.
to regret it when you're older and you never actually did it.
Like if you do that, make that mistake and cheat on someone,
And also,
and it's in your head, like just go tell them if it doesn't work out, then it wasn't meant to be.
and your soulmate would not cheat on you.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah.
No, period. Your fucking soulmate would not cheat on you. Period. There is no argument for that. Like, don't accept that.
Well, yeah, because your soulmate, you would really
That's just-
communicate with.
I'd never
be
get over
on
that.
I
the
wouldn't
same
stay
level
with someone that did that to me ever. Like if you can do that, then what else can you do?
But what if you just don't know?
I don't know because
kill them.
I don't know about that because
I
real
know.
quick. I know a couple that actually that happened to. They split and they ended up getting married later in life again because they forgave each other, and so
Well-
I don't believe that necessarily.
No, I do think that you can change as
It's
a
communication.
person. But I think both people would need to change in the process. And
Well, they just need to be able
a lot
to.
of time needs to go by before that happens. That's not
need-
something
yeah.
like, don't think that you can break up with somebody who cheated on you and then and a year later you're like, they didn't.
No, I mean,
they're
they
good.
worked on
They're
it.
good. It's very hard for somebody to change in a year, maybe
Yeah.
a decade.
No, they was years before they got back together, but they worked
Yeah.
on it and they grew up. They were together
That's
when
what
they
I'm
were
saying.
young.
The root of it is
and then,
is a
yeah.
maturity thing.
Right.
You just are obsessed with yourself and trying to gratify yourself at all
Yeah.
times. You don't care about anyone else.
Literally, everyone's
Yeah.
just so obsessed
That
with
person
themselves.
that you're in a relationship with, they're there for you in your eyes. You're not
Yeah.
there for each other. They're there for you to satisfy your needs that are not yet satisfied. And that's not a good relationship.
I was going to say, wait, you're saying that's good? No, that's bad.
No, I'm saying that's bad
Right,
because
that's really
a relationship
bad.
where people cheat
Absolutely.
because they still, as soon as they stop getting the thing they
Yep.
want from that person, they will
Yep.
go cheat to get it from somebody else.
Yep. I mean, God, it's so simple, really, but yet it's not.
It is simple. Yeah, you're right.
It's such a
than that.
simple
Yeah.
concept that human beings have to just it up so bad.
Well, there's a root to everything. They're doing it for a reason. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not
they
because
want
they're
something.
bad at
They're needing
relationships.
something, so they're pulling it from others.
Yeah.
Everything's within you. You have to figure it out within you, then go find somebody, and it'll work out really good.
People just aren't like that though.
No,
a
'cause
lot
they
of
don't know
people
how.
just can't be alone, or
It's hard to be
or
alone.
I mean, it is, but also it's not.
No, once you figure it out, it's not. Once you figure it out, then it's
I have
actually
the
like
opposite
refreshing.
problem. It's hard for me to
Yeah.
romantically be with someone because everybody
I
just
think
pisses
either
me
way,
off.
I don't think anyone ever completely figures it out. I think it's a constant battle
true.
that you have to constantly
Yeah.
go through until you die. So it's
agree.
like, to keep that in mind too. Don't think that everything's just perfect once you figure it out. And some people have it figured out.
Well,
And
it's
you
a
just
lot
don't,
easier.
because it will make you feel terrible. everyone's going through
on
the
your
battle
phone?
at all times.
But the most important thing is communication. Honestly, that is really like the key, and people forget it because you can forget about communication really easily. Oh, that's right. I just have to talk to that person. That's it. It's simple. If you bring it out and stop holding it in and actually talk about it without being angry,
Yeah, true.
have
But
a conversation.
some people you can't talk to.
But the
Right.
thing is also, I've
They're hard to
seen
talk to.
girls
Exactly.
say that getting cheated on literally like alters their brain chemistry, and it makes you reflect on yourself so much, which just makes me so sad because that's that's horrible. Like to be in a relationship with someone, trust them, love them. They broke that trust. They went to someone else, which is like the worst thing you can do in a relationship. And now you're hating yourself and wondering, what did I do? What's wrong with me? And you have all these issues from that. So it's like, I just will never understand it. I never have. And I really just don't empathize at all with people who cheat. Like, I just don't.
Hey guys, my name is Kaylee. I've been watching you guys for a couple years now, and I had a question about how to deal with imposter syndrome in life, whether it's family, friends, or dating. Thank you, and also those hate comments. I try not to reply to comments, but sometimes they sound straight up dumb, so I have something to say.
What's
Thanks,
imposter
Kaylee.
syndrome?
Thanks, Kaylee. That's very sweet of you.
It's basically like when you're in a scenario or you're in like your life and you feel like, how did I end up here? I don't belong. I definitely didn't earn this. I
Like
definitely
an
don't-
example is, imagine you get a new job and you're just like, what the am I
That's
doing?
my rug.
Like, I
Oh,
feel
yeah,
so
I've
out of
been like
place,
that.
and then you
I've
have to
had that.
adjust to it.
Oh yeah, I've had that.
So how do you deal with that?
Yeah, so I was thinking I was going to be a waitress. I decided I went and bought this outfit that was so hideous. It was khaki pants. It was, remember Ruby Tuesdays? Mm-hmm. It was that outfit, and I had a tie and everything. And I got dressed that day. I looked at myself and I was like, what am I doing? So I lasted 2 hours. 2 hours, and I'm following the dude around, and he's like, and this is what you do. And I'm just like looking at him like, I can't do this. And I was taking my tie off, and he looked at me and he said, you can't leave. And I was like, yeah, I can, because this is not me. This, like, I did not feel like me. Is that imposter
I don't
syndrome?
know if
No,
that's
no,
exactly
no.
imposter syndrome.
It's more doing something like positive that you're like, holy, like, okay, for example, when I was in nursing school, I'm like getting good grades, basically making my way through school. And I'm like, there's no way. Like, I must be doing something like wrong, or I don't know how I'm getting here. I don't know how I'm making it through here, but it's more like on a positive thing.
The feeling of,
the word of imposter, like, oh, I'm gonna get caught. Like, people are gonna realize I don't know what I'm doing.
yeah. And
No, that was me that day.
I think everybody
If it
feels
wasn't something good.
I think everyone feels it all the time. I feel it all the time, especially like being on something like social media where you have so many people like paying attention to you. It obviously makes you question yourself. And I've gotten better with it. When I was younger, I was just like all the time, like, who am I? Why do people like me? Why do people relate to me? I don't understand. I still don't understand when people come up to me in person and say they've been watching me, or since I've had black hair, or they love me, whatever. I'm just like, huh? Like, it doesn't compute in my brain. So I think it's something that everyone deals with every day. And
Yeah,
as you
definitely.
get older, you get more sure of yourself and who you are. At least that's my experience. But
yeah. Okay.
every time I feel it, I'm just like, whatever. And then I distract myself.
Yeah, I think it's just developing confidence through experiences.
Confidence.
But like life as a whole is kind of like imposter syndrome.
Yeah, 'cause nothing
as
makes
it is.
sense.
Yeah, so you kind of just take it day by day in
Yeah.
a sense. But yeah, once you gain confidence by just like doing things that are out of your comfort zone and just doing them more and more, it lessens, but it's something that will always be there,
And
because you're always going to
understand that-
experience new things.
Everyone is going through it. Even if you don't think they are, they are. Like the most famous people in the world, they feel it. It's just
even the people that you see who have the like coolest collected personalities, and you're like, oh, they have everything figured out.
everybody's
They're still
insecure.
having something going on.
It's rooted in insecurity, and every single human being is insecure in some way.
It's so weird. It's the first time I've ever heard that term.
And on that note, goodbye.
See you next time, guys. Leave a comment in the go to the phone number. I always mess this up. Go to the phone number and send us a beautiful text message that we can read.
Yeah, or
and
like
respond to, 'cause it's
stories,
fun.
anything. Please don't make it about us. Make it about you.